doing that?
How is 7 times more simple than just the one?
Because for them,
It doesn't make sense.
You're not explaining anything.
That is just the
Let's
one
go
thing.
to the bottom of the subject.
Okay,
So,
and then,
carry on.
but what worries me as well is when he went on to, I know Offman might be the third caliph, is he the third caliph? When he burnt Qurans.
nonsense.
That is, I mean, surely, but when I've seen people get yelled at and protest at burning Qurans.
Different reasons we both know.
My point is that the Quran.
One is malicious, you know that.
The Quran's being burned. Yeah, but this guy, for me, what this guy is doing, this caliph, that sounds malicious to me. Because why would you burn Qurans? Unless you want to get rid of them.
You said you have resources, so why did he burn the Quran?
Excuse me. I haven't reached out to your drink to one now.
No, but you said he burned the Quran, so you must have read something, right?
Well,
Or you heard it from someone. Which one is it?
You know where I've heard it from. I was just seeing it on
Yes,
YouTube. Okay, so that happened. Okay, to put the Quran, slaughter them. Then there's more Qurans.
There's too many orders.
In history. So then it gets codified into 7. So I
think it goes to both.
It goes to 7 to 14 to 25. Apparently,
That's fine. We'll answer your
apparently,
question.
according to a scholar, it goes up to possibly 50 at one point, around the 10th century.
Which one?
So,
Hashim,
so
let him speak.
So I just
and
want
see.
to listen. Just
Wait,
need to try. I just want to.
Speak to me, right? Mr. Brother invited me.
Delegated to respond to him.
What I want to know is, it seems like there's a history from what I've looked at on YouTube. So, if unless he's lying, that is a possibility. I don't know the chap personally, but from the way he was talking, it goes from lots of different grants suddenly to being qualified into only a couple, into a few. Then it seems to expand again, and people seem to be Muslims apparently are quite happy with the expansion of Quran. And then it seems to be put down to like 14. So, or 10 and then 14. So I'm just wondering what's happening. How does this happen? And why? Why does?
Would you like to know the answer?
What I'm asking.
Very good. So now let's go back to Yasir Qadi, because you've watched his...
No, wait.
Why are you interrupting when I'm speaking?
Because I've asked
Excuse
a
me,
question.
He's answering you, but you have to give him the chance.
Try to behave in a civilized way. So I tried to listen to you when I interrupted you, and I apologize for interrupting in the beginning. So I let you speak. You've made your question, and I've listened to it.
Okay.
Right? In my head, I've made points.
Okay.
Now, you started by saying you also listened to a scholar, and you've named that scholar, Dr. Yasir Qadi.
And there's another one called what's his name?
No problem. You can remember this thing. I don't know who you're talking about, but that's fine. So you've watched Dr. Yasir Qadi. What
I've seen two different scholars.
would you like to let me speak?
Yeah, I'm just saying. No, I just want to clarify.
Two scholars.
I've seen two scholars
Sure.
talking about the Qurans. Okay, so obviously
Fine,
they're experts in the Quran apparently.
Wait, stop there.
I just want to know what's going on.
Stop there. Yasir Qadi, what is his expertise? Dr. Yasir Qadi.
I'm assuming is
Why you
maybe
assume?
Imam.
Why you assume? You should, once you know someone is a scholar. For example, there was a guy that used to come here. One moment. Why are you interrupting when I'm speaking?
You
Excuse
asked
me.
me questions. I just remembered something.
So go ahead.
I saw Yasir
What
Qadi-
is his specialty
I
in?
saw Yasir Qadi particularly in an interview with.
No, I'm asking you a simple question. I'm asking you a simple question.
I'm answering your question. I saw that chap in a dialogue.
I am asking you a very simple question. Very simple question.
But his highest level of education, where is it from? What university? and what?
Brother, fine.
Yeah.
Dr. James White, what is his specialty? Do you know?
Yeah, well, he's an apologist.
Apologies, fine. What is his specialty of Dr. Yasir Qadi?
I don't know. Well, apparently he did.
Don't say apparently. Either you know or you don't.
Well, apparently he went to Saudi Arabia. I
No,
think it
excuse
is,
me.
to-
Apparently, there is no such thing apparently. If somebody's a scholar,
are you trying to say
allow
you
me
don't
to
know
finish
who
my
Yasser
point.
Qadhi is?
Excuse me.
No, are you saying you don't know who he is? And
No, it's not me that I don't know. I'm asking you.
Well, no, it's
So,
important because you're saying.
I know who he is.
Your question.
I know what his specialty is.
Fine.
Dave, it'll be easy if you
Dave-
just said I don't know.
So
Listen,
here
much easier.
is the clarification that's needed. When you put forward Yasser Qadhi as a specialist in the Quran, so I'm going to ask you once more, to make it clear, right? Hear my question. When people become a scholar, they specialize in a very specialized subject. For example, once you do your PhD, this is your specialization. And then you can further specialize within the field of what you've done in your thesis, right? You can further specialize. So, do you know what was the thesis of his PhD on what specialty, number one? Secondly, what is his specialty that he understands to be his specialty?
Okay. Now,
You have the option to say no.
Now, what I want to know is.
I'm asking you a very simple
Oh,
question.
no. I want the simple answer. Yeah.
No,
is he
I'm
right?
asking you the question.
Are they right?
Excuse me,
or are
no.
they wrong?
There is no running away from this discussion.
No, there isn't.
Here,
Are they right?
here.
Or are they wrong?
Excuse me,
That's
Dave.
what I need to know.
Dave,
So you need to
if
tell
you are
me-
interested in a polemical discussion, you've come to the wrong
Listen,
platform.
listen,
If you are sincere
listen.
and you're willing to learn and engage in a discussion in an
you're
academic
not-
manner,
you're
and you
discussing-
sincerely want to know about the subject, then you need to clarify this question.
Yeah, no.
Do you
I've
know
asked my
the
questions.
specialty
I've asked my
of
questions.
Dr.
You are
Yasser Qadhi?
deflecting. You are deflecting what I'm asking. I'm asking simple
Okay,
questions about
the audience who are
history.
listening, do you understand my question?
I'm
Very
asking-
simple
Good.
question, brother.
I'm
So the
asking-
question I'm asking is, if I bring,
No, no. I'm asking questions about your history, Quranic history.
I'm trying to answer them for
No,
you.
you're not. You're talking about Yasser Qadhi. You're talking about all this.
Who brought you up? Who brought you
You're
up?
talking about everything.
Who brought you up?
Listen. you're
I will
talking
listen,
about- you're
but can you
talking
answer?
about everything.
Did you bring him up?
You are talking about everything other than what I've asked.
But I'm
No,
trying to answer.
No, you're deflecting.
How am I
You're
deflecting?
I've
Enlighten
asked
me, how am I
questions.
deflecting?
I've asked the questions.
Yeah.
You're deflecting.
Okay, can I answer that?
Okay, no, you're deflecting.
It appears he doesn't know the qualification. Maybe you can just tell him.
You are deflecting. I've asked simple questions about are they
Never
right,
give them the
are they
answer.
wrong?
Let them do some homework.
Okay, I've asked you questions for you to answer it.
Right,
Those-
let me now answer you.
So
Okay?
now I want the answers.
Let
to
me
your
answer you.
questions. No,
Let me
not
answer you.
deflecting.
Let me answer you. In support of your claim, you brought a scholar.
Not scholars. Two scholars, different scholars.
When you say two scholars, you don't remember the name. You don't remember the name of the other scholar. But what is his specialty? You don't know, or do you know?
I don't know. No.
Fine. So when you bring a support for assertion or a statement that you make for a claim, and you don't even know whether they're qualified or not on that subject, we can just rest assured, leave them aside for the time being until you can demonstrate that in a court of law, when you bring a witness.
Okay.
Let me finish. I have not finished yet.
Wait. No,
I have not
listen,
finished.
you're deflecting
When you
again.
bring a witness in a court of
Deflecting.
law,
Excuse me.
I have not
Stop
finished.
interrupting.
When you bring a witness in a
This is
court of
Speaker's
law,
Corner.
and the judge wants
This
to
is
know,
Speaker's Corner.
Not
I'm
in-
asking
is the
a
witness,
question.
why are you interrupting? Why are you interrupting?
You're not answering the
I am
questions.
answering.
No, you're not.
So listen.
You're deflecting.
So in a court of
You
law,
are deflecting.
when a witness is invited
This is
to
Speaker's
provide,
Corner. This
excuse
is
me,
Speaker's Corner.
Dave.
You ask questions.
Dave.
And if someone reflects, if
Dave.
someone wants a simple
the
answer,
whole world is watching you.
I don't care.
You don't
Listen,
care?
I don't
The
care.
whole world is going to judge you by what you are saying and what you're
The whole
doing
world
and how
is
you're
gonna
behaving.
judge you by you not answering that to answer.
But
simple
I
questions
am
about
putting
Quranic history.
You
things
have to let him
straight.
finish.
So let me finish. Right.
No,
So-
wait. Just answer the question.
I am. Don't you understand? I'm answering.
You're not.
So
You're
be here
talking about-
patiently. So here is how I answer.
Yeah.
So, allow me to finish? Right. So when you, brother, I don't need any support. When you bring a support for your statement, an evidential support, in a court of law,
Listen.
let me finish.
No.
If you keep on interrupting, then you better walk away.
Listen.
Because you're not willing to have a dialogue in knowledge and sincerity. Because I can, if you are, then let me finish that. Okay, I take 2 minutes to make my point. Okay? What time if you want. When we want to support our statement, like in a court of law, when somebody says, I know this is what, you're 2 minutes and you can't even, subhanallah.
God, listen.
2 minutes.
No, they let him talk.
2 minutes. So when the court summons a professional, an expert for corroborating a statement or something with their professional judgment, they can't just bring Tom, Dick and Harry in the street to provide, say, I'm a cardiac surgeon, and I know when this guy has operated, being operated on his heart, that's where the malfunction was, or the error of judgment was, of that surgeon who operated it. So I can tell you as a second opinion or an expert, the operation was done incorrectly. Let me finish, not 2 minutes yet. Why, what's wrong with you? Now,
Excuse me, I didn't say anything.
thank you. So don't just be agitated then. So when you bring support for your claims, an expert, we need to first understand, is this person an expert or not? You can't just bring any person who supposedly, is well known. I can bring, for example, Tony Blair. He's well known worldwide as an expert in the Quranic sciences, but that is not going to be acceptable. Why? His fame doesn't count. What counts is his professional knowledge and expertise. So, you started by claiming that you have a scholar who said oral transmission is reliable. 2 questions I asked, and I am not going to move away from these 2 questions unless you answer them, or you say I don't know. What is this expertise of Dr. Yasir Qadhi, in what specialty? Secondly, where does he say in his interviews, on your lectures, that oral transmission of the Quran is not reliable, as you said? Those of you who are joining us late, go back to the video and rewind and say he made that statement. Go ahead.
Okay. Now, still, after all this, right? I was asking the Muslim about what I saw. Just in a simple conversation. Hope you find a simple answer. Okay. So now get Mansur. Is it Mansur? What's your name, sir?
Carry on. Why am I supposed to interrupt?
I'm asking what your name is. Mansur. So I get Mansur. So I asked him the same stuff. And what do I get? I still haven't got an answer. He's spoken for 15-20 minutes. But is he giving me
I think you made a claim and he was trying to clarify your claim was incorrect.
Is he giving me an answer to a query I got? Okay, so I don't know much of Islam. I've already said that. Okay, so I'm expecting an answer. And after a lot of talking and a lot of stuff, he still hasn't given me an answer.
We was laying the platform. He will answer you.
So why there's like 25, at some point to 50 Qurans this particular chap was talking about in his dialogue on YouTube, and there's a Muslim scholar. So while I'm not an expert and I hold my hands up not to be an expert,
It's clearly obvious.
that's fine. You don't have to be an expert. I've got questions from experts that still haven't been answered, apart from lots of deflections. Okay.
So what is the expert in, and where did he say what he said?
So ultimately, I still haven't. I don't know. You seem to be an expert.
Never
I
claimed to be one.
still haven't got an answer though. To
So
the
I
question.
think the discussion will soon end,
it will
because,
end because-
because your waffling doesn't benefit anyone.
No,
I came to give you an opportunity, remember? I didn't come and say,
You're not
I am now talking.
answering my
I am now
question.
talking.
Listen, you're
I
not
am now
answering.
talking.
You're not answering.
Dave, I
So
am
have a
talking.
look.
So learn how to behave and talk.
No.
If you don't know how to talk, then perhaps you need to go back to.
I was hoping you.
I was hoping
start
that you at
talking to
least
me
understand how we talk to each other. If you don't even know how to talk to people, then first lesson is learn how to talk. Second lesson is ask if you don't know. Third lesson is
I have
ask. Ask
I have
sincerely.
asked. I have asked.
Right.
I was talking sincerely to the person I was
Right.
really talking to.
Right. Go ahead.
And the second person.
Answer the question I asked.
And the second person I was
Dave,
talking to.
enough waffling.
Okay.
Now, what is his specialty? Do you know?
Excuse me, don't tell me.
Do you know?
I'm explaining.
Do you know his specialty?
Don't.
Do you know? Do you know his specialty?
You're showing me disrespect,
Okay. Those of you who are listening, how many times have I asked this question? What is the specialty of Dr. Yasir Qadhi?
And everyone
And did
watching,
you hear an answer?
everybody watching, he still hasn't answered the question. He still hasn't answered the questions that I had about how many Qurans.